All right, so let's say our site is more or less complete, right? I mean, you can see we don't have finalized content. So when you go to do yours for your final project, you're going to want to put actual content, not just all this lorem ipsum and dummy pictures. So you'd want to put more in here, but more or less it's done. Let's say it has a homepage, has two subpages, looks fine, looks roughly professional. It's good enough. Now, if you wanted to change something in here that we can't get to from the theme editor or through the plugin, the Elementor plugin, if there's something you want to change about the site, but basically you can't find a plugin to do it and the theme won't do it, and you're just having issues trying to make something happen, what you can do is actually use the theme editor itself to sort of change some of the defaults. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So like for instance, see how the background is white? Let's say you want the background to be a different color. Now, if you go to customize, you can actually, I think, change the background. Most themes have that as an option, but I'm just going to show you as an example here. So if I go back to the dashboard, and then I'm just going to go ahead and go to the appearance themes, or I'm sorry, theme editor. Themes will just bring up the theme selection. And it could take a little while. It's going to give me a warning that you'll see in a second. So I'll explain that when we get there. Okay, it says heads up, blah, 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 blah. And you just say, I understand. Basically what it's telling us, and this is very important, and actually the suggested way of what I'm going to show you is not to do what I'm going to show you. Later on in Web Design 2, I'm going to show you how to do this more properly, but that's a little more involved to do it the right way. We're going to just do it the wrong way for now, just so you know how to do it. Basically, the idea here is that this is the theme, right? So literally, what you see here, this is all the code. So there's different. If I click on these different sheets, you'll actually see them over here. So now it's going to show me the theme functions, which will be PHP, and you can see archive PHP. Basically, these are templates of the different kinds of pages you can have. The functions loads in all the different behaviors and operations, things that the page, that the theme can do. Taking a little while though. Didn't think it would take that long. Must be a pretty big file. Here we go. So if you look in here, you can see this is all the code. Okay. So there's, this one's actually not too much. This is actually, this one here, literally all it's doing is loading in the code from all these other things that are the support files. Okay. So anyways, these are all the files of the theme. I want you to select the style sheet, okay? Now the reason why you don't, what we're going to do is we're going to add to the style sheet here. So the style sheet is just like any, you see it says style.css. It's literally the same thing as we've been writing through hard coding. And this is what the primary thing that the theme is going to use in order to, design the page, okay? So this is setting up all the defaults and all that other stuff. The reason why we don't want to write directly onto this, as we are going to do right now, is because the theme itself, CS file from assets. Oh, look, they have like a separate folder for it. That's weird. Okay. Usually there's actually in here too. The reason why you don't want to do that is because very often you'll find that the theme will have updates. They're constantly updating themes. So I guarantee, like, if I open this in like a week or 2 weeks or maybe a month, there'll be an update for this theme. And every time you update the theme, it re-downloads the theme and then overrides what was there. So anything you add, you're going to lose, is the idea behind it. So if I add anything to this, I could very easily lose it later if I update it. And you want to update your themes because, for one, it keeps it recent and, all that. But also, a lot of times, it's actually a security thing. They might see a security risk, and then they update the theme to try and combat that. So you have to keep your site up to date and constantly update. So anything I write in here, I would lose. So just be aware that if you update your theme, you're going to lose what you write in here. The other reason is that you could potentially break the theme by adding stuff in here. But that shouldn't be an issue for us. So all we're going to do is literally, this is just a style sheet. So we're just going to do background. Oh, actually, we're going to do body. And then we'll do, boom, like this. And we'll do, let's see, background color. And then we'll just do, I'm just going to do this. That's kind of subtle. We'll just do, we'll just do this color. I'm just going to do a little bit of an off-white, Control C. So I just went onto the color picker and copied this color, just like that, right? So I'm just going to say to the body, I want you to add background color, and then we'll hit update file. Now this can take quite a bit of time, although this is a pretty small file, so it probably shouldn't take too awful long. And then once that's updated, what I can do is preview it. Sometimes it doesn't preview properly, so just be aware of that. So I'll hit preview, and so so you see it's not really previewing. So you might have difficulty also trying to get to target items as well. So like if I do body here, it might not be working. If I try to do page, so class page and then body and update, let's see if this works. I'm going to show you how to target the elements a little bit better, but I'm not going to do it in this thing. I just want you to be aware that you can add your own CSS rules into that theme. Yeah, that didn't seem really to work either. Okay. Basically, body is a very broad selector, so it's getting overridden by some other CSS that's written in one of these other things here. So it says it's loading in. If you look, it says it's somewhere in here. Where are you? It's loading in CSS from other places. So are loaded in from assets CSS folder. So we'd have to go to assets CSS, and it's loading in these guys here. So anyway, but you can add your own CSS rules. You could add your own defaults and stuff here. You're going to be competing with the theme itself. So you'd have to make yours as specific of selectors or more specific than their selectors in order to make sure that you that your stuff works. Okay. Oops, why did I do that? I didn't mean to save. Oops, cancel. Otherwise, you're going to be competing with it, and you're probably not going to get your stuff. So, actually, I think I put that port in the wrong spot. Let's see if that works. Yeah, it's probably not going to. Yeah, it still doesn't work. Okay, but anyway, so you'll be competing with their stuff. So just be aware that you need to. I'm going to show you how to target things a little bit better to make sure that you override. Something broad like this won't work. Okay, but you can add elements here. I would just suggest, like, if you do put stuff in here and that you want to keep it, I would have like a text file somewhere on your computer that you like copy all these and paste it and save it. And then if you update your file, you could just copy it from there and then paste it back in again. It's not the cleanest way of doing it, but that should function. Okay, so feel free to just add a couple of CSS rules in here. Like I said, they may or may not work just because you're competing with the theme itself.